Hi, my name is Jordan Hetrick, and I'm the author of books about how to use GoPro cameras. Today I want to introduce you to the GoPro HERO 2018, which is GoPro's entry-level camera. The HERO 2018 is an entry-level camera, but it still has a lot of the functionality of the more advanced GoPros, such as video stabilization. Using the HERO 2018 is a great way to get introduced to the GoPro world and to learn how to capture some amazing photos and videos using a GoPro camera. There have been a few HERO cameras, so I just want to make sure you're watching the right video. This camera looks just like the HERO 5 Black and the HERO 6 Black. It's got a touch screen on the back. It says HERO on the side of the camera right there. And it was released in 2018. So let's check it out. I'm going to show you how to get it set up, get started, and show you around your new camera. Let's get your new camera unboxed and check out all the things that come with it. So you just pull this little tab here on the bottom of the box. Open the box up. And just pull the camera out. To get the camera off this mounting plate here that came with the packaging, just turn it around, lift up this little tab, squeeze these two together, and slide it forward. And I always hold the front of the camera just so it doesn't fall off. Just like that. So hold your camera with one hand and unscrew this thumb screw counterclockwise here to remove this. And when you do, the little plastic piece will come off with it. And you can just discard that or recycle it. And you can put the thumb screw back in. That just prevented it from rotating in the mount, but now it can rotate. This little plastic case that's holding your camera so you can mount it is called a frame. We're just going to remove the camera from the frame so we can get the battery inserted and the microSD card and get your camera charged. You can hold your camera in your hand and then put your two fingers on the top here and your thumb on the back and pull up with the front two fingers. That'll unlatch this back door here. And then you can slide the camera out by just pushing, put your fingers behind it, and try to push evenly so it slides out of the frame. And then your camera's out of the frame. Now you can grab the box. We're gonna get the battery and charging cable out of there. So you can just open up the box, and underneath these papers, you can set those to the side. There's another little box. Inside of there you'll find the battery and the USB charging cable. This one and this. So now you've got your camera, your USB charging cable, and the battery. There's one more thing you're going to need. You're also going to need a microSD card, and that doesn't come with the camera unless you got one of the kits from the stores that does include the microSD card. But for the most part, they don't come with the camera. I'm using the SanDisk Extreme here. It's a 32 gigabyte card, and it's class 10. GoPro recommends a class 10 microSD card, and just about any class 10 microSD card should work with the HERO because you're not recording 4K. 32 gigabytes should be sufficient storage. But if you want longer between having to offload your footage, you could go up to 64 gigabytes and you'll be able to record a lot of video with that. There are two doors on the HERO camera. There's a side door here, which we'll get into in a minute, and there's a door on the bottom here. And this is where the microSD card and the battery goes. So just push this little tab and slide the door over, and then it'll pop out like that. Now with the touch display on the camera facing you, take the battery with all of the writing on the back, so the tab is on the right side, and insert it into your camera and push it all the way down. Then take the microSD card so the text is facing towards you and put it in the little slot right behind the battery there. Push it in, and then you got to push it all the way down with your nail till it kind of snaps into place. And then you can close this door. Push it down, slide it over, and make sure this little tab pops back up because that makes sure your camera is waterproof. And then go ahead and take this sticker off the back of the touch display. That's just for display purposes. The GoPro's battery only comes partially charged because that's the best way to store the batteries while they're waiting to be purchased. So we're going to charge the battery now. I'm going to use this portable USB power charger. It's a bit faster than charging your camera with the computer. Should take about 2 hours. Just make sure it's 5 volt and 1 to 2 amps for the HERO. Plug this end of the cable into the portable USB power charger or your computer. The other end goes into the USB port under the side door of your camera here. So just push this tab down. And as you're holding it down, slide this door down like that, and then lift it up. And the USB port is right there. So just put that other end of the cable there. Then make sure your portable power pack or your computer are turned on so it can begin charging. And you'll see a red light turn on the camera right here. That means your camera is charging. When the red light turns off, that means your camera is finished charging. Should be about 2 hours if you're using a portable USB power pack, and it can be up to 4 hours if you're using a computer because the battery could be fully drained. You can press pause on this tutorial and come back when your camera's finished charging. I've had a lot of viewers of previous models complain that the light doesn't turn off even after charging for a long time. If that happens to you and it's been charging for at least a few hours, you can go ahead and stop charging. It's got a lithium-ion battery which doesn't hold a memory charge, so you should have enough charge to go through the setup process, and it could even be fully charged and the light just maybe didn't turn off. After your camera's finished charging, just go ahead and remove the USB cable and close the side door. Push it straight down and then push it straight up once it's flush with the camera. But make sure that's popped back out after you've closed the door. Before you turn the camera on, I'm just going to show you the buttons so you know your way around a little bit. There's only two buttons on the Hero. There's the top button here, which is the shutter button, and that's used to start and stop recording or to take photos. And on the side here is the power and mode button. That's used to turn on your camera and switch between modes when you're not using the touch display on the back. And back here is the touch display, which we'll use to change all of the settings and set up preferences and other items like that. Alright, well after all of that, I bet you're ready to turn the camera on. So let's go ahead and push this mode button here on the side, right there, and your camera will turn on and it's going to take you through the setup menu. So you can just follow through the prompts here. You can select your language by scrolling up and down on the touch display. Once you've selected your language, click the check mark here. Then agree to the terms. You can set the date, or it will automatically set when you connect to the GoPro app too. And click the check mark, and then you can set the time. Click the check mark. Now it's going to give you a little walkthrough of the different features of the camera. I'm going to show you all these, so you can go ahead and just swipe to skip through them, unless you want to push pause and watch what they recommend here. Quick Stories is one of the features you're really going to love because it can auto-edit videos for you directly from your footage wirelessly. And that's one of the best reasons to buy this camera as far as an entry-level camera compared to one of the other knockoffs. So I'm going to help you set up Quick Stories. You can just click done on that. I'll give you a quick tour of the touch display screen here. You can see when you turn your camera on, right here is exactly what you're going to be recording. You can change all of the settings that you need to using this touch display screen when it's accessible. Sometimes you can't reach it if your hands are wet or if you have snow gloves on, for example, but whenever you can use this screen, it's probably the easiest way to change your settings. Down here are the different modes. This is the mode icon. If you tap on that, it's going to show you the different modes available on the Hero. There's only 4 modes, which is pretty simple and great for beginners. There's video mode to record video, photo mode to take a single photo, burst mode to take multiple photos with one press of the shutter button, and time-lapse video, which will record an automatically compiled time-lapse video. So then select the mode you want. Down here are the settings for that particular mode. You can tap on it to change any of those settings. Over here are the advanced settings. So these are the advanced settings for video. It's got image stabilization and auto low light. And to change those, you just swipe over, pull the tray over from the right side, and you'll see video stabilization, which is great to have in a beginner camera, especially like this. You're going to get really smooth footage. And auto low light, which I don't use too often. I'd rather manually change my settings, but you can try it out. Then you can just swipe it down to exit out of that. Up here is a few of the display settings. You've got the Wi-Fi signal, the recording time remaining, and the battery life. And over here is the media tray on the left side of the screen. I'll record a video real quick so we can have something to look at in the media tray. So press the start and stop button to start recording a video. And then press the shutter button again to stop recording. And now if you pull this media tray over from the left side, you're going to see that video. Right here is the video I just recorded. If you tap on it quickly, it'll come up into the screen. You can watch your video. So press the play icon and the video will play. If you press the grid icon here, it'll take you back to the thumbnails. And if you hold down on one of the thumbnails, then it'll give you the option to select one or more files, which you can then delete one of them, or you can delete all of them, or multiple files. And I'm going to X out of this. And then pull the tray down or press the mode button on the side, and that'll take you back into the shooting mode. And if you pull down from the top here, it brings down the preferences menu. You can lock the screen. If you're in the water, it's very important to do that so settings don't get changed. turn on voice control, which is a cool feature, so you can tell your GoPro to start and stop recording video just with your voice, and connect to the app or remote. And I'm going to pull this back up to exit out of that. The front display screen here is also important. It shows you some of the settings, shows your video settings and how many videos you've taken, as well as storage time remaining and your battery life. So sometimes you'll be using that if you can't see the display screen on the back or when the camera's facing you. And when you're done, you can hold down the mode button again and your camera will beep and turn off. In this section, I'm going to show you how to mount your GoPro camera and show you some of the mounting accessories that came with your camera, as well as some other ones that you might find useful. There's two adhesive mounts. One is flat and it's rounded on the corners, and the other is curved for like helmets and other curved objects, and you can see it's more of a square shape, so it's an easy way to tell them apart. And then you have the frame here, which holds your GoPro so you can mount it. And this here is the thumb screw, which attaches your frame to a mounting buckle or to another mount, such as a handle. And this is the mounting buckle here that slides into one of the adhesive mounts or another adhesive mount. As you saw before, your camera goes into this frame here. So you just open the back door up, and it's actually hollow, so you can use the touch screen. And then you slide your camera in. Just slide it in evenly so that it goes in all the way. And once it's in there and it's flush, you can just close this back door, latch this little tab here, make sure it's over that ledge completely so it holds your camera securely, and then snap it into place. Now your camera is securely in the frame. And right now the frame is attached to a mounting buckle here, this base on the bottom, using this thumb screw. I'll show you how to change that in just a minute, but for now the mounting buckle slides into the adhesive mounts just like this. You just lift up this black tab here. That prevents the arms from getting squeezed accidentally and coming out of a mount. And then you just slide it right in. And once it's all the way in, you'll see it's going to snap into place just like that. And you'll be able to push down this tab again. And that just locks it in, so it's not going to come out. To attach the adhesive mount to an object, you just remove this red liner here. Underneath it is a tacky surface that's sticky, but it's not super sticky. So you actually want to push it down really hard, let it cure for 24 hours at least, and 72 hours is recommended. And if you're in a cold environment, you can heat it up a little bit with a hairdryer or a lighter just to get that adhesive kind of more tacky. It's always good to test the adhesive mount to make sure it adhered properly before you take your camera somewhere where you could lose it. So once you put it in there, you can just pull on it. It should be pretty secure and not come off. They are removable, but they're kind of hard to get off, so they're better for more permanent mounting solutions. Like I said, there are tons of ways you can mount your GoPro. Some of the mounts, like this one, is the Handler by GoPro. It's a floating handle, so it'll float your camera when you take it in the water, which is very key because this doesn't float. This one actually requires a buckle, which comes with your camera, of course, and you can just slide the camera right into it, lock it in place, and you're good to go. Or if you're not using a handle that floats, you can get a floaty back door like this one. It goes on the back of the back door, but you can't see the touch screen when that's on there. So it's better to have a floating handle if you can. Some of the handles and mounts don't require a buckle, like the Shorty here by GoPro. You can see it's just got the 3 tabs here to attach your camera directly. So on mounts like that, you just unscrew the thumb screw and remove the buckle. And then you can just mount the frame directly to that mount by putting the 2 grooves in between the slots and lining up the holes and screwing it in. This one has a different type of thumb screw here, but usually it's a thumb screw more like this. This one actually opens up into a tripod too, which is pretty convenient. If you haven't done so already, I suggest going to get the GoPro app. It's free and it works for Android and Apple. So you could just go to the App Store, search in GoPro app, and it's this one here. It's free and it adds a bunch of functionality to your camera. You don't have to use it, but you can update your camera wirelessly through this. There's no updates yet available for this, but I do suggest when they come out with an update that you should update your camera. It just improves the features of it. So you can just download the GoPro app. Once the app's downloaded, just create a free account if you don't already have one. You just add your email and password, or you can sign in if you already have one. If this is the first time you've downloaded the app on your phone, just follow through their permissions, however you choose. I'm just going to push OK and allow it to send me notifications. Got it. It's giving you a quick intro. I'm just going to click out of those. Plus is pretty awesome. I'm not trying to sell you on it, but if you do break your camera, you can pay a small fee and replace it. And then you can connect to your camera. And it's gonna, if you click out of camera, it'll walk you through the steps to get your camera connected. So you can push pause and just follow the prompts, as it'll be more clear than if I tried to do it for you. Once your camera is connected to the app, you can see that you can change all the same settings, as well as view media that's on your camera. You can also transfer files wirelessly from your microSD card to the GoPro app, and it'll put together an automatic video using quick stories. So it's definitely worth it to download the free GoPro app if you use a smartphone. After you've recorded your photos and videos, you can transfer them either wirelessly to your phone using the GoPro app, or you can download Quick for Desktop for your computer, and you can put a USB cable into your computer, connect it with the USB cable, and it'll automatically prompt you to start transferring your photos and videos. You can also take the microSD card out by pushing it in first. It'll come out, and then you can use a microSD card adapter that probably came with your microSD card and put in the SD card slot on your computer. After you've gotten your camera sandy or dirty, you always want to make sure to take it out of the frame and rinse off the camera and the frame. You especially want to make sure to get any sand or dirt out of these grooves here between the door, because it'll get really hard to open and close if it gets really sandy in there. And give it a good rinse with fresh water if you've been in the ocean, because the salt water corrodes everything. Another easy mistake to make is to leave your house without the camera charged. You may have left the camera on and not known it. So always check your battery before you leave, especially if you're going to film something important. Or you can get a backup battery. An extra battery is always very helpful. Once you have your mounting position secure and you have your camera pointed like you want, always make sure to tighten this thumb screw really tight. You can even use a Phillips head screwdriver in there if you want to get really tight. If you're on a rough road or going in the water, it can slide around pretty easily if that's not totally tightened. One of the great things about the Hero camera is it's the same exact body style as the Hero 5 Black and the Hero 6 Black. So any accessories that are going to fit on the Hero 5 Black or 6 will also fit on the Hero. So like this filter here, this is a neutral density filter by Sandmark, and that fits right here on the Hero. So even though it's more of a basic camera, you can still get a lot of the more advanced accessories. You can see the links in the description below, or you can check out my kit, which has a bunch of the accessories and a little description of each one, so you can know which ones to pick. I've written a book that covers everything from the start to the finish about the Hero camera. So if you're new to GoPros, and this is your first one especially, you're going to find tons of valuable information and learn lots of tips that are going to improve your GoPro footage. So you can click on the link below to buy that through Amazon. And I appreciate your purchases. Thanks for the positive feedback from all my viewers out there. I really love hearing how these videos are helping you and making your life a little easier, at least in terms of your GoPro camera and getting the videos and photos that you want to get. So thanks again.